These last couple months, winners of 9 in a row.
And that's the kind of streak you don't see too often in today's NFL since there's so much parity. So the way they've played has been truly remarkable.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they come into this one fresh off a victory that finally snapped a 6-game losing streak.
And there's nothing like that win that makes everyone happier in the locker room, better on the practice field, and they usually play a whole lot better that next game out as well.
So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick in the 2018 draft, the Oklahoma Sooner, Baker Mayfield. Mayfield on play action. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have its hands full all night long.
Now, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
And a look now at the starting offense for the Browns.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
They go play action. Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. Well, that's 2 sacks in this game, so add that to the 4 from last week. I think that's 6.
Good math. Excellent math. And look, he's going to get all the attention. He deserves it. He got home and got the quarterback on the ground. But that's a concentrated team effort because you have a lot of guys who occupy blockers to allow him access to rush the passer.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Myles Garrett racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's 3rd down. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Jackson on 3rd and long from his end zone. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, we thought these 2 defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's pile this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference. Let's go, fellas.
The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Correct. But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Mayfield throwing quickly out to Beckham. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. Now a look at the defensive starters here for the Steelers. They were fantastic a week ago in the win over Houston.
The best defenses I know, they draw lines in the sand and say you're not going to cross that. For most of them, it's 100 yards of total offense. They didn't quite accomplish that, but still a pretty darn good game last week. Just over 100 yards of total offense given up.
They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. He's looking for another 4-sack game. That's how many he had last week. That's his 3rd.
And when I watch him rush the passer, the thing that always comes to mind for me is how well he uses his hands. The martial arts stuff that a lot of guys do in the offseason to work on those, paying dividends for him. He's getting home in a big way.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, of course, coming off the safety the last time they had the football. Never want that.
No, that's pretty unique, too, isn't it?
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Myles Garrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. They'll run with Chubb. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Austin Seibert on for the extra point. And this is good as they extend it out now to a 9-0 lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline.
Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. This one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
This is taken at the 3. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Jackson. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. They go play action here on 1st down. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24. 16-0. That's the score after 1 on EA Sports. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The D-tackle Sheldon Richardson came barreling in for the sack. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10. Into the 7. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. Here's Hines. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
From back at the 2, here's 3rd and goal. From the gun, Jackson. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster with his 16th touchdown of the year as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point put through by Boswell, and that trims the lead down to 9. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Heading back out, Baker Mayfield as we call up our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. The Browns drive about to get started. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They go with Chubb on second down. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 30 yards there, and of course the first down as well. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A run for Nick Chubb. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. On 3rd down, Mayfield got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 25-yard line. Mayfield brings him up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Throwing, Mayfield. He'll get that complete to the tight end, Harris. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Demetrius Harris, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Jackson on 1st down. Forced out to his left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. There, this is picked up by the Browns. Does the big boy have the juice? And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync.
Only nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. Now Jackson. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Breaks the tackle, now an alley. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bud Dupree able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. After the sack on 1st down, Mayfield, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room. Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Jackson to throw again. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40, before being taken down. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Jackson. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. Going to throw again. Looking left sideline, it's complete. So we've come to halftime after a very... All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Man left, go. Fourth down, even.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Sheldon Richardson able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. Now Jackson back into his end zone.
He's been a tough one.
And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. And this defense continues to dominate. How about 2 safeties in one game here?
You don't even put that on your goal sheet. This is something that results when you're playing really well on defense and the offense has nowhere to go with the football. Dominating performance.
Here we go.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part.
And Owen coughed it up. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Receiver downfield. Offense.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Here's Jackson. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Back to the air, Jackson following the pick 6. Completes it to Davis. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
How about that run? Picks up a first down. Note the enthusiasm in my voice. Remember, last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I think he's trying to get another one in the fold.
And you talked, watching film, a lot about his form and just hitting the hole, running north and south, as we like to say. And I think he's been doing that a lot recently.
Squaring those shoulders and getting downhill.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 41-yard line. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster the target once again, and now it's second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
From the 21, it's second and 10. Now a give, right side. It's Hines. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. 18 yards that time to push him up, first and goal.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Jackson from the shotgun. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his second touchdown of the night. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. Boswell good with the extra point.
Well, if you've got him in your fantasy league, you like his production, his second touchdown of the game. But right now, his team is trailing. Fortunately, he's playing pretty well and trying to keep him in it.
Yeah, they might need a little more from him here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to call his number. Right now, he needs his defense to step up and give him a chance.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
A loss of 2 there, second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. It's caught. Beckham. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10.
Cut. Watch safety. Cut.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him a couple on the carry there, second and 8.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Let's get it.
Mayfield from the gun on third down. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. A big third down pickup of 20 yards.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Chubb on the counter, and it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And the ball is knocked out. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster the target once again, and it's 2nd down. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jackson, and that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now, no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Jackson uncorks one for Davis. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The veteran Morgan Burnett there on the coverage. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. Jackson now, escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Throwing is Jackson. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw, eluding the pressure right. He completes it to Tate. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, Jackson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. On 4th down, Jackson. And it'll be intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And he is going to be stopped on the return at his own 3-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
This is Brown, and he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Good. 180.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Check the outs. Check the outs. Check the outs.
They'll try and run with their fullback. And he'll find a little space. He gets this up near the 10. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead. You give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
You say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game. When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Check, 59. Check. Check 3.
On the ground, it's Chubb. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. They run it again with Chubb. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. I guess that was a little better. He got back to the line of scrimmage there after the loss on first down, but now you're still dealing with a 3rd and long.
So let's put on our offense coordinator hat. They've been very aggressive against the run the last 2 plays. I'm thinking screen right here. Let them come get the quarterback and dump it off, and there could be some room to roam.
Chubb. He's got a first down past the 30, and he'll take this all the way up to the 38-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Not today.
Well, the lead late in the 4th, but Mayfield's going to throw it. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
He's checking. Crash.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch the slats. Watch the slats.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here, and maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. And a division game is usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.
So for the Browns.